Vanessa here. Welcome to my channel. I just did an avocado mask, and while that marinates, I thought we should talk all things lending. And that includes when to talk to lenders, how many you should talk to, and what questions you should be asking them. So as a reminder, this is not financial advice. I am simply talking about my personal experiences and in the hopes that it will help someone else. So if you're not Daddy Warbucks and you don't have piles of cash laying around to just put in cash offers, the chances are you will need to use a lender to purchase a property. Now, there are different types of lenders, including hard lenders, hard money lenders, private lenders, but today we're going to talk about traditional bank lenders. So when should you start talking to lenders? In my opinion, I say as early as possible. And that means before you start shopping for properties and before you start putting down offers. The reason why I say that is because your lender will determine what your purchasing power will be. And that will be determined based off of how much money you have, what your credit score is, your debt to income ratio, and so many other factors. So basically, how can you go shopping without knowing what your budget will be? Another reason why you should secure a lender before putting down an offer is your ability to get a pre-approval letter. Basically, your pre-approval letter is a letter that you'll get from your lender, in this case, a bank, that says you have provided proof of funds, you've been vetted, and this is how much your lender is willing to loan you for this purchase. And the reason why that's so important is that when you put down an offer for a house, you can then submit your offer along with your pre-approval letter. And this makes you look like a more serious buyer. And if it's between you, someone who's put down an offer with a pre-approval letter versus someone who has put down a similar offer with no pre-approval, the seller will likely go with the person who has that pre-approval, because it means that you have already been vetted by the bank and that it's been determined that you do have the funds to buy this, and so you seem more legitimate and serious as a buyer. When trying to secure a lender, it's important to talk to as many lenders as possible. Research questions to ask lenders and compare answers in order to identify which lender has the most favorable terms. So some of my favorite questions that I like to ask is, do you allow prepayment on my loan? Do you have a prepayment penalty? AKA, if I decide to pay my 30-year mortgage down in 20 years or in 10 years, will there be a penalty for that? How long will the bank keep my pre-approval status? Once you get pre-approved, it doesn't last forever. So there's a certain amount of time that you need to purchase the home after getting pre-approved. And if you have passed that timeline, you then need to go through the pre-approval process again in order to stay in good standing. And how quickly can you close on this loan? So the number one thing that I want to highlight here is that when you go through the pre-approval process, your lender will do a soft credit pull, and that will impact your credit score. But typically, it will go back up after a certain amount of time. You typically have around 45 days from the time of that initial credit pull where you can talk to as many lenders as you wish and go through as many pre-approvals as you wish, without it negatively impacting your credit score. So that's going to be the sweet spot for you guys. All right. You really want to talk and interview as many lenders, go through as many pre-approvals, so that you are able to identify the right lender to work with that's going to give you the right terms that you wish without it impacting your credit score. All right, well, that's it for today. I am going to rinse this out, and hopefully you have found this really helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much.